Let me be who I am. Just like let me have some a little freedom, like just to,
You
just.
have like more freedom more than any wife I can have.
But I'm not Egyptian.
And I'm not American.
So I changed some things, all right, that weren't making me happy, all right? Accept it or not.
About clothes, I'm never going to change my mind about.
Okay? Well, I'm never going to change my mind either.
I think Mahmoud did not have many options to marry anyone where he is from because people there probably know him well. That's why his family is trying so hard keep Nicole there with him. Nicole is confused on what love really is. Just because a man wants you to use you in his life doesn't mean he loves you. Hello everyone, I am Alina. Welcome to my channel Honey Forever. Keep watching and please subscribe, so let's start. Mahmoud's family honestly surprised me. They speak very differently than he does, and they genuinely seem to love Nicole. It's very nice to see in-laws like the new member of the family. And Mahmoud kept grabbing her first, then she pushed him away before he started grabbing her again. Please show the full clip if you're going to blame Nicole for that. He was manhandling her, he was abusive, she pushed him after he grabbed her a bunch of times. If they were behind closed doors, no doubt he would have struck her. He kept telling her to go home, so they could talk about it, but I wouldn't have went either, he most likely would have hurt her. No man should grab at a woman the way he did. And the situation and getting her to stay in the country actually terrifies me. I also don't agree with the she shouldn't have pushed him sentiment at all. This is not an equal situation. He should have listened to her and respected her and not shoved himself in her face over and over, and he grabbed her multiple times. That is a very unfair thing to say. Nicole went back to Egypt because she needed the money from TLC. She struggles to hold down a job and create a consistent stream of income for herself. That's why she does Uber Eats and vintage shopping or reselling or whatever it is she does. If she were there with a more emotionally mature man, she would probably be able to fit in better. I agree that Nicole should not have agreed to being Muslim without understanding what the true responsibilities would be. However, many Arab men tend to marry a cute blonde just to show off to their family and expect her to be an empty vessel willing to absorb and carry the culture of their husbands. No, she has her own culture, her own struggles, and her own upbringing. He should also learn to accept her, not just Nicole. Everyone in the world knows that American women are very liberal and aggressive. So why all of a sudden did he expect a demure and submissive Egyptian out of an American? They're both completely immature, and I don't know that anyone can really say that she shouldn't have pushed him. I mean, he was blocking her exit, vice gripping her arm, yelling in her face, and ignoring her requests to be left alone. She should have nut-kicked him, but all she chose to do was push him. I personally would have felt physically threatened in her position. What else was she supposed to do? And Ahmed is trying so hard. I hope he can come to realize that his brother did what my father ex-husband did. They both were in love with the idea, and that's what they married. That does lasting, painful damage. He needs to take a step back and be honest with himself. Recognizing your flaws and working on them is human. Nicole needs to stay out of relationships and figure out who she is and get to know herself. I feel like she just did things and agreed to them because she is a people pleaser, and that is also why she keeps herself so private. She is afraid of being judged, and at times I wonder if she experiences imposter syndrome in her personal relationships. I will be honest, Mahmoud has the better chance at growth because he has strong role models in his brothers. I hope that they can help open his eyes so that he can become emotionally competent and aware. I want them both to become better versions of themselves and find the happiness that is right for them. And I really don't think Mahmoud is a bad guy in any way. He is a Muslim and devout Islamic man. That's all. He is Egyptian. That is the culture. It has nothing to do with how they feel about one another. It's culture clash. But the fact that she seems to have no understanding of the cultural differences is what gets me. She is older and from free America. She really should understand this. She is not stupid, but she is thinking with the wrong head, her heart. so I always say key into Christian Prince, who shows you how Islam works. He is Egyptian, and he tells the story about how he and family who are Christian lived among the Muslims. He recalls the Muslim women coming into his family's home in Egypt and complaining about the harsh conditions the Muslim wives endure and relay those messages about the life of a Muslim wife. I recommend his videos to anyone thinking of converting and living in this type of lifestyle. And Ahmed calls Nicole his sister, and she sees him as an ally. This woman has been antagonizing her own husband from day one. Family is always harsher on their own. My mother called me out every time I had fallen out with my fiancé. And Nicole is so disrespectful to call Egypt some country when there are people who have welcomed her into their home with open arms and love. On the other hand, I don't think she meant leave me in a city without anything but her cell phone. Everyone is saying his brother is gold. I don't see that. He and his wife admit they fought a lot for a couple of years. She basically gave in. She admitted she doesn't like wearing the hijab or being covered head to toe in a very hot country. Fatima isn't happy, watch her. She had no choice except to change, and they expect the same from Nicole, so unless she plans on that, she needs to leave and stop wasting her time. It gets me that the women sit there with their heads covered at top and bottom in sweater in very hot weather, and the men, no head coverings, no long sleeves even. The men are not supposed to look at women, yet they do constantly, otherwise all these clothes would not be noticed. A modest dressing isn't enough, women must wear and do what the men say. This is control, using religion as the reason. Why did both brothers marry a woman from another country? Possibly there is something about the family that people that know them don't want their females in this family. Possibly because Mahmoud is gay, and I am not the only one saying this. They keep saying they love each other, yet there is no love shown here. He will not change, and she needs to leave. He will never respect her. It's about the clothes now, but what will it be next? He isn't happy with her because she isn't what he wants, and no matter how much she changes, she never will be. He never had a girlfriend before this. That's not normal anywhere. Nicole needs to act her age. Stop saying she loves this guy, that she can't get along with that, obviously doesn't find her acceptable. She needs to stop listening to the brother-in-law. She will end up like his wife if she stays, unhappy and doing everything her husband says. I also don't see the brother-in-law and his wife's marriage as happy, other than the times Fatima nervously laughs off things. She rarely smiles, and her life certainly doesn't look happy. Throw your opinion in the comment section below. According to my discussion, thank you for watching.